Hello everyone, this is Jay High from Couch and Keyboard here with another Smash player profile. This one with Moky. We have another Canadian. I want to give props to our northern brethren for making a splash. And yeah, Moky is in Full House Siege. I'll talk about that a little bit at the end. But also want to go over his career because I feel like some people don't really know his career very well. He kind of just appeared and was like, okay, he's just a top player now. But yeah, so got started in 2015. Plays a little bit of PM and Ultimate, not really that much. Like tried it, but is pretty much exclusively melee. Has a little bit of experience, but most known for Fox for sure. And yeah, kind of rose the ranks of Ontario and then became pretty solid there. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into some of his notable results. Started doing okay, none really like amazing wins, just kind of like placed his seed. Got in, the 2015, 2016, that was a prime time for people to start playing. And, was doing fine. I think his first big win was probably against Koval at a Big House 7. A pretty notable upset. 107th seed versus 30. That's pretty good. And then, yeah, did get 49th here. Not too bad. I think most people became aware of Moky thanks to a really funny commentary moment, or just stream moment in general, where Moky beat Chu, also Cactuar right before, but beat Chu by shining Popo over and over, and Nana just standing there, and then Slime and Lover like, Nana, do something! And like it was hilarious. Did lose to Hugs. That's the up and coming Fox tax. You gotta lose to a Samus. Lost to Ty. He got Marthed. Ty's pretty good. So yeah, 33rd Genesis, pretty good here. I think that Gommel was also pretty good for him, getting 9th, and his kind of hometown major here, beating Ice, the German Fox. Got Marth by Zane and M2K. That's gonna happen. But yeah, and then DreamHack Montreal got, this was not necessarily very top heavy, but still did pretty good. Fourth, 16 got fourth, beat Ryan 4 in the Ditto, Two Saints, Lunar Dusk, lost a Hug again, got Marthed again. There's just things that are kind of par for the course. Started to do pretty good. Don't park on the grass. I think that this is not correct in terms of the upset factor. Lost to Facial and Rishi. Did beat Sunsei and Zod. We see pretty consistent in the Fox Ditto. Other matchups being a little bit more challenging. Genesis 6, not quite as good. Did beat this this Fox Josh Man. Pretty low seed, probably not that good. Did lose to Triff and Rishi, so it seemed like he was pretty much mainly good at, also beat Slime, mainly good at the Fox Ditto. That was kind of his bread and butter. And then Gommel was actually able to get top 8 in 2019, beating Lucky Plup KJH. This is a very good run, losing to HBox and Wizzy. Not bad at all, especially the 17th seed. That's a pretty good run. Plup was, kind of, this time right here was when Ultimate was out, so I feel like some people's focus was not always completely on the game. So maybe there was a couple more opportunities to get higher, but I mean, they weren't handing out the wins for free. Being able to get these wins, I don't know if Plup went Sheik here. It might have been, but either way, doing very solidly in the Fox Ditto and being able to beat a lot of high caliber players. Very good here. Smashed them at 8. Able to get into that. Didn't do too amazing. Did beat Nunn, who was someone he was familiar with. They're both being in the Toronto area. Yeah, and then this I did not really. I don't remember this. Beating Fiction and then Leffen in the Fox Ditto. Just like, that's pretty insane. Lost to SCJ and then Chudak got his get back. Sometimes it's tough, but still very good. Getting 5th at Shine, getting another top 8 at a major. Very good here, but I mean, this is like, I did not remember that at all. So good stuff to Moky. And then, not too great at Genesis. Had some early losses. Lost to, you know, uh, did win a Fox Ditto. Did beat a Sheik and got a couple good wins here and there, but got Marth and then lost a close game 5 to Ryu beats Peach. And then Smash Summit 11. This was right after COVID. I think Moky kind of had a chip on his shoulder because he was, to that point to where rose up the ranks pretty quickly. 96, 52, 14. I mean, really a good trajectory. And online, I think that he wanted more props. Seemed like he kind of had a chip on his shoulder about rankings and stuff. Smash Summit 11 was not great for him. He did not do good in the pools phase. Did get a win on Toussaint. Got a pretty good matchup there. Did lose to Mango twice. But yeah, not the best at Genesis. But Function did very well. Lost early to J-Flex, but had a really good run. Went on Eve, so showing a pretty good experience in the Puff matchup. And then just went on a tear of Foxes. He made his money from Fox Dittos, especially beating Cody. Pipsqueak wasn't seated very high here, but we know that's good. Zamu also beat Slug. Slug eventually would, become top 10. This was good. Lost to Ginger. Seems like he's not the best in the Falco matchup. But this was still an incredible run for him. This was kind of like a super regional type thing. It was not that big, but it had a decent amount of top level players. So very good performance here. Obviously the losses weren't necessarily that great. Both of them were technically upsets against him. But I mean, I think if you get second when you're the 3rd seed and you beat the 1st seed, ultimately that is a positive experience. Yeah, losing to 5 and 30 is not great, but you still outplaced your seed. They get top 8 at Battle of BC, top 8 at Gommel. Neither of these too crazy. Double down. I mentioned Aura. This was kind of, lost. It seems like he has a bit of a Peach problem at points, a bit of a Marth problem. So yeah, just sometimes he wouldn't do too hot. But Big House 10 was pretty good. Beat Leffen again, beat Axe, beat Sir Maris and upcoming Peach. Lost to Zane H-Box for 9th. I mean, that's not bad at all. You cannot be mad at that. And then LSI, this was not a great performance. And did beat Amsa. He is very good in the Yoshi matchup. It's pretty well known by now, but his brother and his current roommate both play Yoshi. Mono being his roommate. Pretty notable Yoshi. And so very, very familiar with the matchup, where Yoshi became kind of a struggle for some players. He had no real problems. I think Amsa might have taken some sets, but Moky definitely coming out overall. I think 80% win rate type stuff. It was very impressive. And did not have a great, BS found the Ditto. That's good. But then lost some other matchups. Top 8 at Apex, not too crazy. Top 8 at main stage. Got a Aklo win, lost to Mango H-Box. That's pretty fine. Collision 2023, finally got this H-Box win. That was very good. Zuppy had a crazy run this event. So I think that was wow, this is a bit disappointing. I think when you're just trying to get these wins to prove your legitimacy, you're trying to cross off the list. An H-Box win is worth a Zuppy loss. It's kind of like I was saying earlier. It's you outplace your seed and you get a good win. That is a victory there. And then doing pretty good in region. Not the best at Battle BC. But tipped off, got 3rd place. This kind of became a pattern to where Moky and Zane were on the same team by now. I think Moky was originally signed to Moist Esports. And then Zane at a point with Mogul Moves. Charlie and Ludwig combined. Zane was on Golden Guardians at the time. But then Golden Guardians kind of shut down. Zane rejoined. They became Moist Moguls. They became teammates. And it was kind of this kind of shake and bake type thing. Where, Amsa was really good against Zane. But Moky would sometimes beat Amsa before he could get to Zane. So while, Zane wanted to beat Amsa. He wasn't dodging. but it was very helpful for the team to win these events. And we saw kind of a pattern to where it's like, okay, Moky struggled against Mango sometimes, but then Zane was pretty good against Mango. There you go. And yeah, so got a few good wins here and there. Beat Josh Man, showing a very good Fox Ditto. Also beating Crudo, beating Salts. Showing a decent amount of pretty good experience in the Falcon matchup as well. Probably one of his better matchups. Did also at Gommel get third. Did beat Cody again. Beat Kadoran. Struggled against Kadoran at times. Beat Axe. Beat Amsa again. This is just a very impressive run, losing to HBox Mango. The two lone gods still competing. Very good third place here. SmashCon, beat Amsa again. Lost to Zane HBox. Did beat HBox in winners. So that was definitely very good. Did have a little bit of a tough run here. Lost to Zamu and JoJo. That was kind of tough. But was still doing very impressively. Big House got a Wizrobe win, Salt win. Just proving that he's very good in the Falcon matchup. Probably his second best matchup. Fox Ditto clearly his best. I would say maybe Puff and Falcon. I would probably say Falcon above Puff. But still, showing some pretty good discipline here. Genesis got top 4 at Genesis. Did lose to Leffen. Did not get another win there. But Ossify, Triff, Meds, Wizrobe, J-Mook. Losing to Zane and Leffen to get 4th. Not bad at all. Just proving that he is consistent. He's not just an AMSA merchant. I guess also the Yoshi matchup for sure. In terms of top tier matches, I'm thinking. But yeah, he was getting to this point to where 2023 was such a strong year for him, getting number 4. Yeah, there'd be some losses, but when you're getting those top wins, that can excuse a lot of losses for sure. And yeah, finally getting this Mango win. Falco being a little bit tougher, but beating Magi and Mango back to back, showing hey, I can beat some Falcos. Beating Portable Crate earlier as well. That 3 good Falcos in the same bracket. That was an accomplishment. When losing to HBox and Cody, two people he's beaten before. Yeah, I'm sure he wanted to finally get that major win, but still very good. We're seeing, even though there's some losses here and there, we're seeing a lot of good peaks from Moky. 5th at Gommel. He's staying to be pretty good. His hometown. 7th at Tipped Off. Not quite as good as previous. Supernova, not great. Lost to DK. Lost to Falco. Which these are both good players, but definitely not what Moky was hoping for. Eggdog, beat Cody in pools. This was very impressive. They had a 3-way tie, which Moky did not benefit from, losing the tiebreaker to both of them. Because Moky had beaten Cody had beaten Triff, and Triff had beaten Moky. So if you had gone down with game count and stuff, I don't know how that would have gone down necessarily. I think it probably would have benefited Cody still, just because he took 2 games against Moky. So game count probably would have favored Cody still. But definitely, a little disappointing there. And then final bracket, did beat Spark and Nikki. That was good, but lost to Junebug and Aklo. A little disappointing, but still fine. I don't think that's a bad thing. Wavelength, not too great. We're seeing okay, losing to Aklo, which we've seen Aklo do very well. And the Fox Ditto against Cody and all these other people, Aklo's good. But we finally saw it all put together at Dome Park on the Grass 2024. After his last Dome Park not being very good, he strung it all together. Now this is a crazy bracket just with terms of Josh Man and Nikki had some crazy runs as well. Aklo too, to where Cody, J-Mook, Zane, all these players were just out very early. But yeah, beating 2 Peaches. We've seen Peach be a little bit of a struggle. Beat Cody, beat HBox, and then Aklo had a good one, and then Moky was the top of the mountain, winning his first major. Very, very good. He's gotten top 4 before, he's gotten those top 8s, but he was finally able to put it all together in one. So while some of the wins weren't necessarily his demons, won some tougher matchups, proved himself, and got the dub. So this was very, very impressive. getting a number 4 again. So consistently being up there. And then Now Invitational, still pretty good. I mean, we see a lot of matches here, just because they had large round robin pools and stuff. I mean, beat Cody, Mango, Plup, Josh Man, Salts, like doing very good there. Beating Amsa, Cody again, Josh Man again, Aklo losing to Zane. Did lose to Junebug, did lose to Aklo, but still very good. Getting a ton of good wins. Yeah, just doing very, very well. Moky having a well-rounded kind of able to perform in bracket. Just Zane kind of seeming like the white whale, to where it's like, okay, Zane can be a little bit of trouble sometimes. Sometimes Peach and Falco and DK might be a little bit of weakness. But Genesis did get top 8, lost to SCJ. It's probably more favorable for SCJ than bad for Moky. Lost to Cody and losers. I mean, that's a tough draw. Did beat Aura, and Malachi and Maybe. So showing that he's doing pretty good in the Peach matchup now. 17th of Battle BC. This was not very good. Losing to Graves and Sunsei. Sunsei also very good at the Ditto. Graves, up and coming. So this is disappointing. But Moky does have a couple slumps here and there. But Full House last year, really big deal. I mean, really good wins. Aklo Josh Man, Salt Axe, good. Finally got that Zane win. This was huge. Did lose to Cody, beat HBox, lost to Cody again with a pretty crazy ending with transformations and all that. But very good. Not great, tipped off, so Gommel. Supernova, did pretty good to where, okay, beat Junebug in the run back, beat Ginger, lost to Zane HBox, that's fine. Collision, this one was not too hot. Lost to Nikki, lost to Laud. We've seen, again, some weakness in the Peach matchup a little bit. They lose to Nikki doing pretty good. Yeah, and then LMMM was real back and forth, kind of proving that, okay, he is on par with HBox. It's not like he's just getting a couple wins here and there. They are at the same level, beating Aklo Axe Magi and then going game 15, 3 game 5 sets against HBox, very narrowly losing, but still having a very impressive performance here. Now Invitational, this one was a little disappointing, lost to Nikki again. Beat Laud and Axe and Josh Man, these are good, SCJ. But then lost to Cody, J-Mook, and then Josh Man, the run back. I think it's look, Fox Dittos are very volatile. There's going to be times where you get J-Mooked, So I think that, while it might have been a little disappointing to not have quite as good of a invitational run compared to some other ones, still good enough to be top 5 for the year. And then so far has kind of had an okay year. Lost to Kadoran and Crudo. Crudo having a very good set here. Lost to Kadoran. We've seen some struggles in the Marth matchup. They beat Fiction Aklo, seeming to be pretty comfortable in the top 20 level Fox Ditto. And then had a pretty good out of the blue, beating Magi and HBox. Lost to Slug. They beat Ginger. Lost to HBox in the run back. That's pretty fine. I think Moky does have his slumps, does have his, upset brackets, but he's more consistent than people will say. I'll give him credit. And yeah. And so for Elo, it's kind of a difference here where it's they put him 10, but Lucky number 6, to where it's it's hard to tell. And so we've seen a fair amount of kind of staying in this higher range here. There were some peaks. But staying pretty fine. Top level melee is hard. But yeah, in terms of Full House lifetime, he has good set records. The weakest being obviously Zane, J-Move not being amazing. Does have a deficit to HBox, slight deficit to Wizro, but pretty good, looking very good in the Fox matchup. Yeah, has lost some to Sunsei, but Sunsei's very good. Pretty strong against Josh Man. Pretty good in the Falcon matchup. Uh, unclear about Luigi. Good at Puff. And then against Aura, pretty good for him having a lot of Peach troubles. Recently, not as good. Did get that Zane win pretty recently, but besides that, not doing amazing. I think like going 0-5, like to where he had Cody's number for a while. He's lost the last 5 sets. Soon say I think he's lost the last 4 and just 2 in the past year. You know, still doing fine in the Falcon matchup. Hasn't played none in a while. Which same region, you know, it's fine to be seated apart. Wizzy lost the last set between them. I still think Moky's good in the Falcon matchup. I don't know if he's as strong in the Fox Ditto. So I don't know. I think that Moky is a lock to get top 8 here. I think there'd have to be some crazy upsets in a really unfortunate bracket for Moky to not get top 8. But I don't know if he'll get past that top 8 range. I have Moky getting 7th, tying with Josh Man. I don't know. I think that while certainly he has a favorable set of characters, he doesn't get to benefit from Amsa being there. He's had a pretty good track record against Axe. Samus a while ago, and then like DK more recently. Those are I think he's fine with kind of cutting off those mid tiers. Luigi, very unclear. I think he's beaten like a couple back in the day, but like I don't know. Falcon, I think that is a good bracket for him because of how many Falcons there are. But I do think Wizrobe would still be favored against him. But yeah, I think like when you're looking at these 9th through 13th players, I'm not really worried except for maybe Sunsei. Maybe Magi, maybe Aura. Like 13th, I don't see any of them beating Moky. 9th, I think it's possible. I would still say Moky's probably favored. But above, I don't know if Moky is going to be able to string it together. He can, but recently he hasn't been as good as those back-to-back 4th places. The 5th place was not bad, but it certainly was like a weaker 5th. It was like, because it was a really strong top 3, and then Joshman, Moky, and then there was like Axe, SCJ, or Axe, J-Mook were like 6 and 7, depending on which one you had. Lucky Stats had J-Mook higher, but Axe was number 6 on the official ranking. And then SCJ, Wizzy, and then kind of a drop down for like Laud and stuff. So yeah, I think Moky is pretty solidly going to get top 8. I do not expect him to get below that. But in terms of matchups, like if he has either a Wizrobe and Rat Monster in the loser's top 8 match, I think that's not going to go Moky's way. Like yeah, he can be H-Box, but I don't know. H-Box has been seeming pretty good, like pretty solidly. And I think J-Mook, if J-Mook is able to avoid these upsets, Moky is not good against J-Mook. Like, I mean, 2 and 7, that's one of his worst head-to-heads. And like, yeah, J-Mook can get Fox sometimes, but I don't think that Moky's going to be more likely to be doing the Foxing. I think it would be Cody or Josh Man. So, I don't know. I think that Moky definitely has potential to beat pretty much everyone. There's like no one he's never beaten. I mean, technically Rat Monster, but they never played. That'd be very interesting to see how that would go. But again, like being the most common character, people are going to be, preparing. People are going to be playing Sunsei and Josh Man, or maybe Cody. Like people are going to be preparing for that matchup. And yeah, Moky has a unique style in terms of, crazy combos, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I'm just not a Moky believer right now. Yeah, he got 2nd last time. I don't know. I think that while this one is, it feels like it's a little bit more like lower level in some ways than the last Full House. A lot of these like kind of like yeah, the 13ths are kind of low, but like none of the 9ths are bad. These are all top 20 players. While I think that he has a good shot there is a risk to where he has, he loses to one of them in pools. He has a rough bracket from that, and then, like if he starts in winner's quarters, I think that I could see him going on a run, but I think that that's going to be, probably where his winner bracket ends, maybe wins 1 and then gets 7th. So that's my prediction. He certainly could do well again, but I don't know. I feel like Moki's kind of in a downswing right now. I think other players gonna kind of make their comeback with J-Mook doing pretty good. But we'll see. I mean, I think Moky will be seated pretty high, so you might have a favorable bracket to start with. But you know, I can see him being like maybe 4th seed or 5th seed. But it's gonna depend. I mean, I think that Rat Monster has that upset factor that could affect Moky and kind of set him on a tougher path. We'll have to see. I think it's going to be very fun either way. But yeah.